So, you're thinking about transferring to the Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology, or UNIST? That's awesome. You've definitely come to the right place. We are going to break down the entire 2026 transfer admissions plan and give you a super clear step by step roadmap for what's ahead. Look, deciding to transfer is a huge deal. It's a big, ambitious step. Let's think of this guide as your very first strategic move on that journey. So let's start with the big picture, shall we? First things first, let's get a bird's eye view of the timeline. The whole process kicks off in November 2025. That's when the application window opens. Then, once the new year hits, things move fast. I mean, really fast. You'll get your first round results in the second week of January, and then interviews are just 1 week later. By early February, the final results are out, and if you're accepted, your final documents are due by the end of the month. It's a really compact schedule, so being prepared is everything. Okay, before we even dream about strategy or interviews, we have to clear the first and honestly the most important hurdle: eligibility. This is the absolute gatekeeper for your entire application, so let's make sure you've got the key. All right, so the most common path is for students who are already at a four-year university. And the rule here seems pretty straightforward, right? You need to have finished at least 2 years, that's 4 semesters, and you need to rack up a minimum of 62 credits. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. And here it is. This is so important. Just having 62 credits might not be enough. See, if your current university has its own rule, say they require 70 credits to officially consider you a second-year completer, then you have to meet their standard. UNIST is going to check for both. Seriously, don't let this little detail trip you up.
Of course, it's not just for students at four-year universities. There are other pathways in. If you're studying abroad, or you've graduated from a community college, or you're using the credit bank system, there's a route for you too. The main idea is always the same. You've got to show that you've made equivalent academic progress, whether that's through a degree or hitting a specific credit goal.
Okay, great. So you're eligible. Now what happens? Well, your application is about to go through a pretty intense two-stage evaluation. You can think of it like two separate trials you have to pass to get that final acceptance letter. So, stage 1 is a massive document review. Every single piece of paper you send in gets scored, and all the applicants are ranked. Only the top candidates, we're talking about 2 to 5 times the number of open spots in a department, get to move on. If you make that cut, congratulations. You get invited to stage 2, the on-campus interview at UNIST. And you really need to pay attention to this chart, because this is how the final decision gets made. That score from your document review, it isn't just a pass-fail thing. No, it carries over, and it makes up a whopping 60% of your final evaluation score. The interview then accounts for the other 40%. This tells you one thing loud and clear: your initial application has to be rock solid. So what are they actually looking for in each of these stages? Well, you can think of it like this. The document review is all about your past and your potential on paper. Your GPA, the classes you took, your study plan, your achievements. The interview, on the other hand, is about you, the person. They're going to test your knowledge in your major, they'll want to hear about your future plans, and they'll be checking out your attitude, your communication skills, basically your overall fit for UNIS. Now that you know how you'll be judged, let's get practical and talk about what you'll be judged on. It's time to start thinking about gathering your application file. This is the collection of documents that's going to make your case to the admissions committee. All right, these are the non-negotiables, the absolute must-haves. Everybody has to fill out the online application and the study plan. Everybody needs an official transcript. And hey, if you've been to more than one university, you need to send a transcript from every single one of them. You'll also need official proof of your academic status, and if you graduated from a domestic high school, you'll need that official Daeyip version of your record. Okay, now we move beyond the required stuff. You have a chance here to make your application really shine, to really stand out from the crowd. This is where you submit what are called excellence files. This is the proof that shows why you are an exceptional candidate. So what kind of things can you put in here? Well, official English scores like TOEIC or TOEFL are a fantastic start. Any awards you've won, research papers you've published, or relevant national certificates you've earned can seriously boost your application. This is your moment to show your passion and prove you're dedicated to your field. But there are rules. And please do not forget these 2 rules. First, all of these cool achievements have to be from your time in university. Stuff you did in high school, unfortunately, doesn't count here. Second, you have a very strict 10-page limit for all of this extra material, so you have to be selective. Choose your most powerful, most impactful evidence. All right, as we start to wrap this up, let's go over some final, absolutely critical rules. These are the kinds of details that can completely shape your application strategy, so you're going to want to listen closely. Let's call these the golden rules. Number 1, you can only apply to a single department. That's it, so choose wisely. Number 2, and this one is huge, you cannot change your major after you transfer. You're locked in. Number 3, the good news is you can apply to any department you want no matter what you studied before. And finally, number 4, if you're a current or even a former UNIST student, you are not eligible to apply through this process. Now for what is maybe the most important piece of advice I can give you. Everything we've talked about today is based on the preliminary plan. Things can change, details can be tweaked. So before you do anything, before you apply, you must go to the official UNIST admissions website and read the final official guide. That document is the one and only source of truth. So there you have it. That's the roadmap for transferring to UNIST in 2026. At the end of the day, your application isn't just a pile of documents and scores. It's the story of your academic journey so far and a preview of your incredible potential. So the only question left is your story ready to be told?